move on to one of the big ones, ReZero.
I cried.
Man,
You
what an
cried.
This was
yeah.
so sad. I swear to God, like this broke my heart. Stratton had dry eyes. Like he just doesn't care at all.
Which is very shocking for me. I just don't feel anything about this show anymore.
I
I feel so bad, but I cry over everything else.
I didn't really feel much emotion with this either, so. I mean, it was sad. It's like I was way too expected, so I didn't really.
Like there's something about Amelia. I felt attached to her from like the first second she was introduced. I can't explain it. It was just like intrinsic. And every time she cries and feels sad, I just cry and feel sad too. And it just makes me feel terrible. But like,
Cool. Yes, Rem.
He knew. I
Wait,
too
what?
cried when I realized Rem wasn't coming back.
oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, I won't say I didn't feel like anything. I definitely had like some emotional moments, not like full blown tears or anything, but really this episode we got to see how much of a bitch Pandora really is.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
for what
She's
she was doing
terrible.
to Amelia. Especially, you know, when they're doing the whole key and she's like, oh, you know, you can either keep your promise and I can't be, you know, responsible for what happens, or you can give me the key and everybody will be fine. And it's like, bitch, like, you know, one way or another, everybody's dying. Like, stop taking advantage of this, like, young girl. Like,
Little child. Yeah.
exactly. But,
Well, and then the fact that she had the audacity to think that, like, when she kills Fortuna and Geese, that, like, she would actually give the key, put the key in the seal to open it. She's like, oh, would you look at that? I guess it didn't work. I guess I'm just going to slowly back away now and disappear. Oh, I don't want you to be mad at me. Let me erase your memories, too, while you slowly freeze up. I was like, man, this fucking bitch, dude.
No, I do have one question. And I should have just like gone back to watch, but did she purposely screw up Juice's vision, or was that just purely an effect of the?
That was Juice, yeah.
Okay.
Was it him?
yeah, I think it was an
wasn't sure
effect.
she just like had that extra like
Well,
knife.
I thought
Well,
it was
actually,
her.
it could be both.
I
It
thought
could be
it was
both.
her.
Yeah.
It could be both.
Yeah.
Because he kept switching. I don't know. I felt like it was her because
It
they.
could have just been blood in his eyes, yeah.
But it was blood in his eyes. It was blurry. But like they showed before
Yeah.
how like when Fortuna was attacking her, she thought she hit Amelia. I thought that was supposed to be a foreshadow of like what she did to Juice, where like he kept switching back and forth. So I thought it was
Yeah.
her doing that.
I think it could still go both, but I'd agree that it's more likely that it was Pandora because we even saw like in the beginning she kind of has like the ability to just control like time and space and like manipulation of like reality almost.
I'm
But
really
a big
tired.
bitch. Man, she is like my like most wanted criminal. I do not like her. Can't wait for her to go down.
I'm really tired of these villains that basically just can't die. They're gods, and you always have to like beat them in some other way.
Anime
Well,
in
I don't
general.
think that's true. We
I'm
just
so
haven't
tired
learned
of
how
that
to
trope,
beat her
though.
yet.
I know it's what.
No, that's not true. We just haven't learned how to beat her yet. There's always a way to
Yeah.
beat
That's
them.
my point.
How?
anything-
How? Please tell me how you're going to beat
I don't
that.
know how yet. I'm not the writer
Yo,
of this.
so, all right, hold on. We have Subaru now. All right, we
Yeah.
have the man.
guys, this is basically just like a fetch quest. You're just fetching certain things you need to basically collect to destroy this lady or girl, lowly, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's basically they're just going to have to collect things to like break her godliness so that they can actually destroy her somehow.
Yeah, I feel like though it's gonna be like with Rem, where we're not gonna get any closure to
God,
Pandora
no.
for like
Absolutely
a
not.
long time. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
hasn't even still happened.
Oh, no.
knowing,
Yeah,
knowing
there's
this
absolutely no
series,
way.
so.
Probably.
I think definitely like Pandora. I mean, obviously with her abilities, she's like the final boss of this. I would assume this entire show.
You think so?
Dude, usually
She's like
when-
Really?
okay, if you-
she's the strongest
okay,
so
guys,
far. I don't really know
usually,
what else
like-
could go for.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
how do you
that's
kill?
true.
Well,
you
because-
basically blow her up, and she
Yeah,
comes
'cause you
back.
Because-
Well, you do
Yeah.
have to think like if you look at like Subaru and Amelia is like the main characters. This is like a villain from Amelia's past, so it does kind of seem like she could be endgame.
I mean, like
top villain.
we always thought that the witches were gonna be like the main villains, and then so I think like maybe Tatalia could be the main villain, but it doesn't seem like even her could be the main villain. So right now, the only really evil one is just Pandora.
Pandora.
Like,
So
And these
as
other
far
dudes.
as Subaru goes, then is Roswell kind of Subaru's like main antagonist, or do you think
I
there's
still
someone
don't
further
get
beyond
that.
that?
I
Like,
don't. I think.
I don't know.
I think
Roswell
what-
is
like, I
just
wouldn't
like trying to be
think so,
so
right?
cool and edgy.
Like,
Like
I
I
don't
I mean,
get
hey,
him, yeah.
we got Clown Roswell back this episode.
Yeah, I think whatever's going on with Roswell, I think
matters.
they'll solve it this arc. Like, I think they just gotta get them
Oh,
on
yeah,
their
yeah,
side.
things
Like,
minor,
he's
yeah.
just gotta admit defeat, and then he has to work for Subaru now. or
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think, all right, the only other thing I
Yeah.
think is like, is yeah, like basically like the only thing I think of this next is like the was it the royal selection thing? Like he'll probably make like I guess
Mm.
I think Roswell made like he wanted so hard to make Amelia like the selection for his own purpose, but I think now he has to do it for Subaru. Like
Subaru.
like
I
That
mean, it could
makes
be
sense.
worse. You know.
That makes
What's the
sense.
point of the royal selection again? Like, when is that happening? Is that relevant? Like, it just feels like it was
Don't
like
know.
some.
it's like
Yeah, I'm
part
glad you brought that up. Like, I don't
political-
remember. Like, what is the outcome if you're selected?
Yeah.
It's like the-
we just make the laws and everything of the land, or
I forget like
I'll tell you what. I'll let you know as soon as Ren comes back. All right.
I think I think
we'll
that's
know.
I think that's by far
Sleep.
I think by far that's like the biggest flaw in the show is like they're opening so many different fucking like branches out
Mhm.
that they
Yeah.
have to calm it down. They have to basically
Mhm.
start like wrangling things
Well,
in, like or like just
Mhm.
basically finishing things. It's just like they keep branching out more and more.
that's like
This really
Interesting
does
thing.
seem like a book series to me. Like, it seems like this
That's
is
like-
something that's but like meant to be read and not watched. Like, it
Oh,
reminds me of
God, yeah.
Game of Thrones with how many characters there are,
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
timelines. Like, I'm not
That's-
saying okay. Like, I'm not trying to say it's as
That's
good as Game
why-
of
No, no,
Thrones.
no.
in the
but-
light
no,
novel.
but like
No.
that's like isekai light novels in general. Like, because I was gonna mention this in Mushoku Tensei as well. How like uh there's like the first like arc whatever it gives you intro and then like but then there's always something like they always go somewhere new and there's always something like coming up like every single time about
Mhm.
getting solved. So
Yeah.
even though
Yeah.
that ReZero is supposed to be like a deconstruction of the isekai genre, but like there's still a lot of like plot holes in it like wrap up. So
Yeah.
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 I mean, if
it's-
anything, go ahead, Stratton.
No, I was gonna say it's definitely a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, if anything, it's good that we're now kind of moving past the
Sanctuary.
flashback.
Thank
yeah,
God.
Sanctuary. And I think in next week's the preview was Garfield fighting the assassin lady in the
that's in the
mansion.
OP.
so-
That's all I
Oh.
saw.
But-
So
Oh, really?
there's
the
a lot of
part-
things in the OP that I felt like kind of spoiled.
Oh
the
yeah, I
rest of the
forgot.
season.
We finally got the OP
We
this
finally
week.
got
We got
the
the full
OP. Yeah,
opening
guys.
song,
But-
which I really like the opening song.
Yes,
so-
this one
actually-
was much better.
I actually didn't mind it. But the one thing where I was just like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, is when they said like that she only cleared the first stage of the sanctuary.
Well, she did
Yeah.
say no. I was gonna
We
say
always knew that though.
she said like the next two won't be too hard for Amelia because she said that the first one is
Yeah,
the
right,
hardest. Which
so-
I'm like, really like what's I don't get that
you
structure.
gonna trust her? You gonna trust her?
I mean, I don't
That's a
really
debating
get.
bullshit
I
right
don't,
there.
yeah, I'm kind of with David.
Trust
I don't
the kid know what to
really
watch.
get. Like, if we look at what this trial was for Amelia, like, I don't really get what was
I'm
so
sorry,
hard.
like well like I know
Yeah,
Super
I mean,
Super
Yeah,
did the second
but she
trial.
cleared her mind.
Yeah,
Like Super did the second trial and it's not like I don't remember if he passed or not because it's not like he avoided
Yeah.
he avoided like the temptation whatever, but like I don't know what the third trial is so like
Wait, so the trial where he ran into his parents?
that's
was
the
that
first
the
one.
first or
That's the first one.
What's
where
What was
he
the second one?
has to deal with
what was
regrets.
the one in the school?
Yeah, that's the first trial where he has to
Oh,
deal
that's
with
first trial.
regrets of his past.
Yeah, what was the second one?
Okay.
Second one's like he had to like not give him temptations. Like there was one about like that where Rem showed up. It was an illusion.
Oh,
it
yeah,
was from
yeah,
like the
okay,
witch
yeah.
of like
Mhm.
lust or whatever. I think
Right.
she
Yeah,
told him the
okay.
illusion. So
Dude,
Hmm.
I
That was a
totally
garbage
forgot
one.
about that.
He's already
shit.
done temptation with Rem. She already basically like admitted to him and
So, like-
everything came out, all that stuff.
so like I don't remember
That's
if
not bad.
Subaru passed that or not. But then like it made it sound like yeah like the two trials were supposed to be like were like almost as hard as the first one. But then we say like oh two trials are just whatever. It's like what's the whole point then of doing three trial structure if the first one is gonna be the
Yeah.
hardest.
Oh man, I just realized we're gonna have the more probably flashbacks of Beatrice and Roswell from the past because they kind of just like lightly dashed that in.
It's so weird, but I actually want to know more about Beatrice now. And the first season, I didn't care at all about her.
Yeah.
So
now
you
I wanna know
you
more.
hated her first
I
season.
hope-
I
I
did
and I'm
not hate
curious
her.
too.
I didn't hate her. I didn't care about her.
I didn't really care much about her either, but
So,
there's a spoiler.
it
But
was
Yeah.
I
different.
feel like there's a spoiler her in the opening that someone's prediction got right. So
Uh-oh.
Ooh, who's? Actually, no, don't say that. Don't say it.
so
We'll figure it out.
I
Yeah,
think we
yeah.
know what it is.
Yeah.
so
I was wondering if it's me, but we'll see.
so I think
But
maybe since like they got the opening and there's a lot of spoilers in the opening, I think maybe after the trials are done, they'll start rushing through like Sanctuary and Mansion. Doesn't sound like the fight's gonna be dragged out.
Yeah.
We'll see. This show has been dragging out pretty hardcore.
Well, I mean, with
Mm.
the opening shown there, I think cat's out of the bag as to how the rest of the season's gonna go. I think it's gonna end at them finishing the mansion arc.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even do it like this, like just not have an opening for like the entire season,
That's
then
always
throw
been-
it in
that's
near
always
the
been-
end,
It's
and then have
always kind of a
Well, I mean,
spoilers.
weird
Like, what
thing
the
of
fuck?
ReZero.
But that's always been ReZero. Like it's always
Yeah.
been like
It's so
forever
weird.
before they show the
Yeah.
opening.
Because it's
Yeah,
trying.
but this opening had tons of spoilers though. Like if you
Yeah.
would have seen this before, like realizing what Amelia went through in her past, like the impact of her past reveal wouldn't have been there.
It's a bit
So,
impactful, yeah.
I would have
Yeah.
thought
I
like
think
if,
it's
if you guys would. Go ahead, David.
I think it's more just like they're trying to like put in as much. They don't want to like waste time with like opening and ending, so they're trying to cram in as much things without having
That's what I was thinking
to
too.
like put in the 4
I'm all
minutes.
for it, man. The 29-minute or 28-minute episodes, I love that.
Well, the one thing with the opening though, I would have just connected it with the movie, with Amelia's movie. If you guys would have watched,
okay.
if you guys
But
like,
I know, I still need to watch it.
but
I
it's
can do
like-
that tomorrow.
There's still
You guys
think
should
about
watch
it.
it. It's so good.
The one thing
It is
though,
actually
that
really
mentioned-
good, yeah.
mentions that, like I thought. See, the one thing that I had a question about this episode was that I thought the whole thing was like Puck was some reason like hiding her memories, but then we found out it's Pandora that like was messing with it. So what's the whole point of
Yeah.
like Puck? Like I guess I guess I thought Amelia this whole time after the OVA, I thought she came out of the ice thing when she was like her same age or a little bit younger.
yeah,
But it sounds
Yeah,
like
same.
from this flashback, she came out when she was still a little kid. So maybe there's still like that memory gap that we don't know about from when she was a kid
Yeah.
to
Oh, yeah.
now.
That's a good
And
point.
David, have you watched the movie?
Yeah. So maybe
Okay,
maybe
yeah,
the
okay.
OVA, like when she's like hanging out with all those villagers, maybe that's like the gap between like before she met Roswell or whatever. It's like her growing
Yeah.
up like as a kid to like
With
like
Puck, yeah.
having to like take care of herself, whatever, in like the forest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
some
think
reason,
it- yeah.
and then Puck just randomly showed up somewhere in between, but
Yeah,
he wasn't.
but
He wasn't like the cause for like her memory thing holding back. So I don't know why they had to get rid of Puck from her contract.
I feel like there's just still a lot about Puck that we have yet to learn.
I think there's also a lot
Yeah,
of stuff
for
too
sure.
that like the anime hasn't covered that was probably covered in the light novels because kind of like how David was saying, like what was the point of basically Puck? Like how in what way was he like interfering?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really feel like that much. I don't think they're hiding stuff. They cut stuff in light novel. It still feels like they're trying their best to like give as much as they can. Cause like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean
Like, yeah,
like
no.
we're, even us like here we're complaining about like season 2 like dragging on and,
Yes.
and stuff. So I don't think they're cutting anything from light novel. I think they're trying their best to keep all the stuff that's been in it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I hope they explain like why Puck mattered because
It sounds like it's
because Pandora.
it's the light novel. Like they're probably like so maybe let's say eventually. So it's
Yeah.
really more light novel.
I'm sure
than
we'll
the
get it at
anime.
some point. I don't think there's ever been anything to give us concern of like why they won't explain something. I think
Yeah.
everything's been explained at some point. It may not be at the
Mm-hmm.
pacing we like it, but
Yeah.
it's gonna
Yeah.
be there.
I
Hopefully.
mean, yeah, I still enjoy season 2 even with all the pacing like the
Well, see,
dragging
I've
on
never had a
issues,
problem
so-
with the pacing. Like, the pacing has never been a problem for me. It's always just been like, they do open up so many threads, and sometimes, like, there's so many threads open, I forget which ones close, I forget which ones are in a
I
different
mean
timeline. Like, I just feel like it needs an
Forget the
anime
other-
form. It's not a light novel where you can kind of, like, sit there and reread it or whatever. They
It's
need
like
to be
you
a little
said
bit more clear.
previously, Sailor, where it would really benefit from having like a lore
Recap.
snippet, or recap
Oh,
in,
yeah.
terms of like in the
The
middle of like
middle.
the
Mhm.
episode,
Mhm.
like Attack on Titan. So
Where you just
Mhm.
pause, you can read like the entire page
Yes.
and then move on.
Yeah, it's not even I've never had a problem with the pacing. The pacing's fine. I love the characters and I love the world. So I'm fine with a slow pace to like really delve into it. I just want to delve into it and understand it, you know?
I can see that too. I would like to move forward.
I just want to know what's behind the damn door, but I know we're not going to get that for like 4 or
I know,
5
right?
seasons. So
How,
I
how long
mean-
did you guys have to wait to see what was in the basement for AOT?
3 seasons.
Or
Yeah.
3
oh yeah, and
Okay.
end of 3
Yeah.
seasons.
And
Yeah.
three
three full
So-
seasons.
At least 3 seasons then.
So I mean, for me, like season
Yeah.
1, though, I want to know more about the witches. That was like the most interesting for me. I guess for me, it's still like Satellia. I want to know more about her, and like, yeah,
Yeah,
So-
that was definitely one of the peaks of the earlier part of the second season when we got to see all the witches
that's
and
that's
Echidna's.
that's
like,
why I
realm.
guess I really enjoy things because I really want to know what the witches. So
Guys, I just want to see Beatrice make a pact with either. It's gonna be either be Amelia or
mean-
Subaru. It's gonna be one of them.
I mean, just look at the OPs.
No, I know. I'm still gonna hold. I'm gonna say Subaru. If it's Amelia, I'm gonna be
Oh,
very
look away.
disappointed.
I guess I was not paying attention. I was just too busy jamming out.
So even before, like way before, I was saying like, okay, I for some reason I just got the vibes. It's gonna be Subaru. I'm gonna be very disappointed if it's Amelia. I want Subaru to have it out.
All right.
I want to see that. And then 10 out of 10.
Just
Anyway,
keep waiting. Yeah.
yep. We've hit the 15.
Yeah. I think I've said all.
Dude, these last few episodes have been awesome. So Juice
Yeah.
is Juice.
Again,
RIP, man.
I was just say it's
I
interesting.
know. I feel so bad for him.
I want to say
Yeah, Juice was actually a beast.
He was awesome. What a good
Yeah.
guy.
I just want to say it's interesting comparing this to Subaru's like first
Well-
trial, where Subaru's is all about his character, and this is so much about the lore in general besides Amelia's character.
Way better.
On the last point, what do you think Pandora said to Juice to get him to come with her?
I think
What
it
do
was
you
already
think?
going
Was it
crazy.
something like
I think
I
it
think
was
it was
already
the
going crazy
same
at that
stuff,
point.
yeah.
So
that he completely gone insane?
He was
He
gone.
just like
Yeah.
everything's
Well,
fucked, so he just
yeah.
left with her.
Something along the lines of, if you don't want to destroy everything further, then you
Yeah,
have
like
to come with me. Like,
yeah,
Well,
that's what I had assumed.
she,
Just like
like-
real high level, but
she's the reason why he keeps like repeating like love so much, or I like even like in
Yeah.
his normal present day because of her.
yeah,
Like when he
true.
meets Subaru.
Yep.
oh,
Dude, Kirito voice actor, man. He's so good.
God,
That
I mean,
guy's so good.
Sure, his clown voice still creeps me out.
He's so good at it, though. He can do
Yeah,
everything.
Yeah, it just
he
creeps me
can't do
out.
so
everything.
good.
It just creeps me out.
AKA, he's doing his job.
Yeah. So we're in there for ReZero and Krito's creepy clown voice.
Yeah.
We're gonna move on.